kidding. I don't want 20.
I'll throw in another 20. Anybody else?
Tanner, come on.
Come on, Mark, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
I'm not eating it, and especially not on camera. that lives forever.
All right, guys, we are in Milo Center, Texas, just outside of Hereford. We're going to go take a look at some corn. We have guests from all over the world, Argentina, Colombia, throughout South America, Mexico, all here taking a look at some of our experimental corn products. And we're going to be looking for adaptation of some parent lines and some different things. Really exciting to see us get a little bit more diverse. We always talk about sorghum on the channel, so we're going to be looking at some corn and some inbred lines and kind of talk about what we're doing and how an adaptation project works. We're with Mark Kirk, our corn specialist. We're looking at adaptation trials for some products throughout all the Americas, so South America, Central America, and the U.S., trying to find some opportunities there. What are your top 3 things you're looking for in a corn hybrid?
So top number 1 is going to be ear size, right? So I'm going to be looking at how that ear is filling out. I'm going to be looking at the length of that ear. I'm going to be grabbing that and feeling for the girth of that ear. Okay, so that's one of the first things that I'm going to look at. The second thing that I'm going to start looking at is leaf structure, and not just whether it's upright or horizontal, but I'm also going to be looking at broad leaves. I'm going to be looking at leaves above the ear. I'm just going to be kind of visually taking note in my mind of like, okay, this one, maybe we can look at it for a higher population because the leaves are more upright. I've got more leaves, they're broader. Maybe we can use this for silage hybrid. So I'm just kind of taking those kind of thoughts in my head. And then the third thing I'm looking at is disease. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at those phenotypic things that I can visually see, and then I'm going to see, okay, is this plant staying healthier compared to everything else in the plot? So those are going to be my top 3: ear size, leaf structure, and then disease at this point that we're looking at it today.
Yeah. So we're just in early stages of adaptation trials. So let's go jump in with the tour again. I know they found another one to look at, so we'll check in with you later.
Yeah. For the upright.
Without knowing anything,
Yeah.
they share one the same name.
The same male.
All right, so we're with Tomas from Argentina, head of technology development for the Americas. And you were just explaining a really interesting fact about some of these hybrids showing some look like chlorosis or loss of chlorophyll. So what's going on in the plant up here?
Okay, here we can see a kind of chlorosis into the leaves. That is, you could think that this is a given disease, but it's not a disease, it's just a mimic.
Okay.
You are not going to find any pathogen here. It's just a reaction of the plants or the leaves to the pollen that remains into the leaves for a given time, no? You know?
Okay. Yeah.
No.
And so will we see a loss of yield or any kind of issue, or is it cosmetic?
Usually it's not related to the yield performance, this characteristic, but this is not good to be seen into the field, you know?
All right, so as we're walking through these adaptation trials, you notice that this is something we're seeing on specific hybrids more than others. Is that correct?
Yes, that's.
Okay,
yes,
so that's
correct.
one thing that we're starting to look at. So,
Yes.
Tomas, let's go jump with the rest of the group. It was very interesting insight. We're here with Tanner Antoniuk. He's our Central U.S. Manager. So, like I said, we're walking through, we're seeing a bunch of adaptations from around the world. There's a lot of challenges. What's the number one thing growers are looking for in a hybrid?
Yeah, right now in our overlay the sorghum territory, guys, drought tolerance is really important to them. How do we shade those rows quicker? So we're seeing some different genetics come in, and you're seeing more upright leaf structures, and we're seeing others that do have that, they go to canopy faster. So it's very interesting to see these global genetics.
Yeah, and so one of the challenges we've been trying to communicate, and it's kind of difficult for other countries to realize, is how ingrained GMO crops are for the corn acres. It's something you have to be competitive, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Most of the time we're talking traits first because you're so worried about the different diseases that get introduced early in the season. So traits first, yield second is a lot of what our conversations have been recently.
So for a seed company, they're starting to talk that below ground for corn rootworm, we're moving away from single mode of action This is going to help us with resistance management and good stewardship of the land. Is that going to be a challenge for seed companies that aren't one of the big three?
Yeah, it's really a reset of the entire market right now. Losing those single below ground companies that have had a set portfolio for the last 5-7 years. A lot of those hybrids are leaving this year, so it's a reset, and you're seeing us go back to where we're double pros, a lot of the Viptera 3220s, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it all shakes out, and maybe we'll get to see more crop rotation without that added rootworm control.
Yeah. So we're going to catch up with the tour again, and maybe we can grab Victor from R&D and have a visit with him. Thanks.
Somehow, when you look at the pedigree, there is some sort of common pattern across some of the hybrid that we observe so far. So sharing the same female or sharing the same male.
So yeah.
So again, here we see a very uniform ear.
Head of R&D, head of commercial, and head of TD. You're just showing me this hybrid. What's so good about it? What are you liking about this particular hybrid right now?
I mean, it's real, definitely very uniform. The ear size is quite good, very uniform as well. I mean, all the ears looks with the same size. Plant architecture is kind of upright, nice plant height. I mean, kind of good biomass, so it's quite promising.
So
Amazing green leaf, straight green
okay.
up to the bottom.
Oh yeah, it looks very good.
Upper leaves that shows you the adaptation to high populations.
So we have a ton of hybrids out here, and we're just looking for some kind of indication that what we're doing is successful. Is this the indication you're looking for?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is suggesting that we do have good chances of finding relatively high performance in the hybrids. Again, this is the first round of experiments that we are conducting in order to understand the adaptation, maturity. We are trying to estimate the general combining ability of the parental lines.
That's a lot of weight hanging up on that plant. So I think the play here for it's definitely, this looks to me like a silage structure. I'd like to see it chopped.
Yep.
I'd like to see the tonnage on it. I'd like to see the quality of it.
And I like to see this during pre-harvest.
Yeah.
To confirm if that risk of root lodging is coming to a real situation.
He sounds like my 9-year-old daughter talking about our show pigs. Dad, this one's got really heavy muscle and great bone structure. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. She's just repeating things that she had said. That's what Tanner just repeating things.
They use the same forward. Oh yeah, I'm concerned about grains being silage. We've got to chop this. You're right. I love this one.
So Boopin, we just got out of the tour. We're looking at all your products coming from South America. And what's it like you didn't get to join us in the field. It was muddy as can be. But to see everyone coming out laughing and having a good time after looking at the products, what does that mean to you?
Amazing. I think that tells a lot.
It means we got good stuff.
In fact, yesterday when I was over dinner, people were talking about their visit on the temperate cornfield last couple of days, and I got excited. I said, this is what they are talking about, let me go and have a look at it. Unfortunately, I was inappropriately dressed. I could not, but I could feel the positive vibes.
Yeah, so we put this video together for you so you're going to be able to see all the comments and everything else.
Looking forward to.
All right, let's go to the warehouse next.
That lives forever.